जय जिजाऊ जय शिवराय.
Be ready. 100 words per minute. Legal passage. Start. According to section 2 into bracket small d of the Indian Contract Act 1872, consideration means something is done by the promisee at the desire of the promiser for the promise or offer. It may be in any form, full stop, but it should be present. It means that if nothing is done by the promisee for the promise of promiser, then there is no any contract, full stop. Under the Indian Contract Act 1872, the consideration should be real and competent and should have some value in the eye of law. It means that the consideration should not unreal and based on only the words and not fact, full stop. According to this essential element, the consideration should not be in respect of legal duty or existing legal duty, full stop. In order to constitute the proper consideration, there should be a promise to do something more than the legal duty, full stop. Doing of something which is person is already under a legal duty is no consideration, full stop. Under the Indian Contract Act 1872, the consideration should not be based on any illegal or immoral act. It means to the consideration should not be given for any illegal act. If it is given for any illegal act, then it cannot be enforced under the law, full stop. According to section 2 of Indian Contract Act 1872, consideration means something in return. It means that something is given by the promisee and it need not necessarily be equal for the value of something is given by the promiser. Under the Indian Contract Act 1872, it is not essential that the consideration should be equal as the value of something is given by the promiser, but there should be consideration, full stop. Under the Indian Contract Act 1872, past consideration means something is already done by the promisee for the promiser before executing an agreement in between the promiser and promisee. The past consideration is recognized by the Indian Contract Act 1872. It means that the consideration for any promise was given earlier and the promise is executed thereafter. The full stop. The present consideration means the consideration given at the hour, full of promise or contract. It means the consideration is given by the party when the contract have been executed by the promiser and promisee, full stop. When one of the parties for the contract has completed his role for the promise which constitute the consideration for the promise by the other side, it is known as present consideration, full stop. Future consideration means the consideration is given on some future date after the existence of a contract between the promiser and promisee. Future consideration is also known as the executor consideration, which will be executed on some future date after the executed of a contract, full stop. According to Indian Contract Act 1872, an object of consideration should be legal which can be enforced by the law. It means the consideration should have some value in the eye of law, full stop. So the consideration should not be based on the following object, such as under the Indian Contract Act 1872, the consideration should not be forbidden by the law. The consideration should not be based on the act which is forbidden by the law. It means if any consideration is based on the act which is forbidden by the law, then such consideration is illegal and also cannot be enforced by the law of contract. Full stop. Over.